The entire team at the Emsolation podcast acknowledges the traditional custodians and cultures of the lands and seas on which we live and work. We pay our respects to all First Nations peoples, elders and ancestors. We acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded and stand in solidarity towards a shared future. I personally want to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I record this podcast every week, the Wurundjeri people. I recognise their continued connection to the land and waters of this beautiful place I call home. Always was, always will be.
M. Russiano.
And I think maybe because I wanted to make it professional, my brain was like, aha, okay, bitch, and went completely the other way.
And Michael Lucas.
Oh, likewise with you. Can't wait. And just remember, if it's too fatty, just heat it up.
This is Emsolation.
I was working for Baz Luhrmann.
Oh, just pick that name up.
Oh, no, but I was.
You're in Emsolation.
Well, hello there and welcome to Emsolation. My name is Em Russiano. I'm a writer, a singer, a stand-up comedian, a maximalist power queen, a neurodiverse magic brain, a podcaster, and together with my best friend since I was 11, Australian screenwriter and Silver Logie winner, Mr. Michael Lucas. I bring you this podcast every Thursday, only on Spotify. Wow, what a triumphant weekend this show has had. Michael, of course, as you all know, took out the Logie for most outstanding drama, and really his win is our win. If you want to pop on your resume, in your Facebook bio, on your Tinder, on your Grindr, on your Blender, on your, what are the other dating apps, on your eHarmony, that you are a Logie winner, you have my express permission to do so. Please do, because you were all a part of the journey. It was so wonderful, and I can't tell you, I was sitting alone in our apartment and the people next door must have thought I was insane because I was shouting at the telly, here, I'll get Zeke to pop in my reaction to Michael winning because we've got the proper reaction later in the show and you didn't need me screaming. I'm just warning you, I'm about to scream. Have a listen.
He goes to the newsroom.
Yes! Yes! Oh, I'm going to cry. Yes! Yeah, I was pretty pumped. I was sitting there in my purple frock, got my tits out for Michael. It was very low plunging, wasn't it? But it was a really great night. You're going to hear all about that in the podcast. Full Logie's debrief. You're going to find out what Michael's mum texted him, which was very on brand for Joe. We talk about... Look, if you follow me on Twitter or on Instagram, you'll know I've had a bit to say this week about a particular sportsman blaming ADHD for some appalling behaviour that he's been sprung for. And I don't know, I sometimes I feel a bit strange talking about neurodiversity. I don't know, I'm still figuring it out, but I'm now starting to realise any time ADHD hits the press, especially in the last year or two, it's got a negative spin on it, and it's because someone's done something wrong. And I'm fast realising that there needs to be more positive representations, especially of ADHD, and so maybe I do need to start speaking about it more. I'm trying. Obviously, the National Press Club address is coming up on August the 24th. It is already sold out because so many of you wanted to see it, but it will be broadcast live on the day. Don't worry, we're talking about it a lot. But the events of this week have really made me reflect on what I want to say, because I now realise I have the ear of the nation. I have the ear of Australia's media, of every neurotypical person that chooses to watch, and I know how desperately our community needs some good shit said about it. So I haven't started writing it. We talk a little bit about that in the show also. I'm finding it very hard to start because I have ADHD. But yeah, it's been a tough week for anyone with those letters assigned to them. Also, speaking of neurodiverse magic brains, the fucking hell t-shirts are finally ready.
What the fuck is hell?
My 3-year-old son, who is autistic and has ADHD, is a neurodiverse magic brain, of course, uttered those famous words. The video went viral and we decided to make a t-shirt that said,
What the fuck is hell?
And we're going to be donating 100% of profits to an autism charity. I'm still figuring out the best way to distribute the funds and who it should go to. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to contact us. hello@mrussiano.com. Gemma, my assistant, will be fielding suggestions. But I know that because Elio is a neurodiverse magic brain and is autistic, and this came from his little glorious mind, I thought it was only right that the profits go to helping other kids like him. So they're going to be on sale right now. As you're listening, they've gone on sale today on Thursday, and this is the black T-shirt with a
What the fuck is hell?
and it's a T-shirt you can hear. I mean, not literally, but every time you go to put it on, you will hear.
What the fuck is hell?
I never get sick of hitting that. Please buy a T-shirt for your friends. I'd like to raise as much money as possible because as I delve deeper into this community and into being neurodiverse, I realise there's not a lot of outside assistance going on, and there's a lot of families slugging away, and the NDIS is really not user-friendly. So anything I can do to help ease your passage or someone you love's passage will be done, and so all of this money will go to that. I don't have much else to say to you. This is just a celebration of, look, Beyonce's obviously released a single, You Won't Break My Soul, You Won't Break My Soul. It's just, obviously, we lost our minds. And also while we were away, we watched the J-Lo documentary. I wish it was called Let's Get Loud, but it's not. It's called Halftime. And look, it gave us everything we wanted. It didn't give us enough of her and Ben, but that's okay. At the time, she was dating A-Rod, but you wouldn't know. And we thoroughly dissect that too. So we're giving you everything you've wanted, especially the full Logie's breakdown. So exciting. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to buy your Fucking Hell T-shirts. Is it wrong what I've done? No, it's not wrong at all. One of my headphones keeps phasing in and out. It's all I can focus on, so I'm sorry if I sound distracted, but I am. That's the honest truth. I'm going to go enjoy. That's it. All right, play the music.
M. Russiano and Michael Lucas. This is Emsolation.
Fresh from his Logie's a victory, although fresh might be pushing it.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not the adjective I'd choose.
Michael Lucas, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Wait,
Thank you.
have I got a button?
It's like a football stadium worth of people cheering.
So good. I'm not feeling fresh. And like you went way longer than I did. Technically, I was really only partying for 2.5 hours.
Pretty good. Yeah.
You, on the other hand, left my styling session at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And 12 hours later, almost
12 hours later. It was certainly 12 hours later when I finally went to bed, yeah.
I know. So, I mean, let's relive the night.
Let's.
First of all, way too long. That ceremony was nearly 5 hours.
If you think it felt long to you, imagine sitting there knowing, because they gave a list of the order of events, and I knew that our main award, the one that we were most likely to have a shot at, was the second last. And the torture. Also just the torture of thinking, I just can't be busting to go to the toilet when it happens and trying to judge, should I go to the toilet now? Should I race out and go now? Or is that too much of a risk? Yeah. And then also whilst getting texts from your family all the time going, this is boring. Do I have to watch the whole thing? Or my mum, who thought...
Go on.
My mum, because we were up for the most popular, which, as expected, we lost to Home and Away. Yeah, my mum thought that was it. She was like, oh, well, that's a shame. It's over. It's all done.
Oh, Joe. Your mum had some pearlers, I have to say.
Not as much as Adrian's mum.
Well, you were also getting texts. You're on the text chain with Adrian and I, and Adrian was giving us updates of his mother's comments, which are not fit for podcasting. But I do tell everyone what your mum said after you won, though.
Oh, no, that's right. She said, I was very proud of everything from the forehead down. What? She did think I'd gone a little short.
It was amazing. You looked amazing. Everything was perfect. I was worried about your spirits because that in memorandum segment was so sad.
It was so sad.
And and the room you felt the room collectively just flatten out. And it was 3 years worth.
I know.
Sorry, it was
and
just,
so many legends.
and I didn't even realise that Jeannie Little had left us.
Yeah.
Hello, darling.
I didn't know
I knew,
that.
I thought of you when she came up.
I love her. So much of my character and just soul, I think, absorbed her as a kid and loved her.
How did she flourish so much in the Australian television of the 70s and 80s? But she did.
She really did. I loved her. And then, so I did send you a little message. I'm like, how are spirits? How are you going? And you'd lost. I'm going to be honest, I was nervous for that.
No,
final
me too.
award because
Absolutely.
except Anna won, thank goodness.
And the TV Week Logie goes to Anna Torv for the newsreader.
Of course, I want to thank Michael Lucas, our creator.
She did. But I remember there was a point where, and it was a great win in the room, Heather Mitchell won for Love Me. And I thought, I thought that there was a strong chance Love Me might win our thing. And when she won, I thought, I reckon. And then William McInnes didn't win, which was to the brilliant Colin Friels. But again, it was making me thinking, I don't know.
It wasn't the clean sweep that the actors were, you know, because sometimes.
Well, that wasn't a clean sweep either. But yeah, it was more yes.
Ooh,
Anyway.
and I was nervous and I was just sitting there going, and I was making deals and I knew it was already done, but I was talking to the spirits, I was talking to my nana. I was like, come on. And I was still nervous and then I was getting every award I filmed of yours, you didn't win. So I'm like, I shouldn't film. That's it. I'm putting the moz on these awards. But I thought, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to film it. And I did. And oh my goodness. Well, let's have a listen to the moment that it was announced by Tim Minchin too, by the way. How nice.
I know, and Leah Purcell. What a
Yes.
duo.
Have a listen now. The triumphant moment.
And the Logie goes to the newsreader, ABC.
We just want to pay tribute to the other fellow nominees and just to any drama that managed to shoot in this COVID era. Recreating 1986 at the height of a pandemic was a hell of a challenge, but luckily we were led by the extraordinary Jo Werner. She's been on this project for 5 years. She's had 2 kids and I've still never seen her in a bad mood. And the incredible director, Emma Freeman. She did all 6 eps of the newsreader back to back with all 6 eps of Love Me, which is truly superhuman. But it felt like everybody just completely took it to the next level on the newsreader, from crew members that figured out which smoke machines were COVID safe, to this extraordinary ensemble cast led by Anna and Sam that learned 12-page runs of overlapping, screaming newsroom dialogue. And for that, I have to thank the writing team, Deb Oswald, Nikki, Jono, Ian, Kim and Ado.
And our writers were led by our creator, Michael Lucas. Screen Australia, thank you for helping us to shoot through this pandemic. And Vic Screen, it was so great to shoot this in Melbourne. To the ABC, thank you, Sally, Alex, Brett and Joe. Thank you so much for all of your support.
And finally, we are just nerding out to be in the room with the real icons of news. Like, we've totally seen Lisa Howes in the flesh. And I just want to thank those newsroom veterans that helped us out, Carol Hall, and particularly the anonymous TV legends that told me some stories about the 80s. Your secrets may not be safe, but they will be fictionalised. Thank you.
So your name gets called, right?
Yeah.
What's going through your mind? So I saw you look, you did the aha, the Michael Lucas, aha, when you lean back and you like clap your hands.
I did. Well, the precise thing that happened was, the first thing was don't forget to button your jacket.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then my second thing was I realised when I stood up, I pushed my chair too far out and it blocked Michelle Lim Davidson's path. So you'll notice that I turned quickly round
Yes, I did.
and try and put my chair back in.
Yeah.
And then I went up and, look, I did have, the whole way through, I had been running through what I had to say. My glorious co-producer, Jo Werner, did turn to me several times in the night going, I'm so glad I'm not the one delivering this speech.
Oh my God, thanks, mate.
Thanks. Yeah, so I was a little bit worried I was going to turn around and look at the audience and just blank or choke, but I didn't at all. And yeah, so I don't know, went up. I did want to, like, it's really, really weird. I've never met Tim Minchin. I love him. It's really, really weird to have like a weird, like fleeting, and then just move straight on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, just turned around and thankfully I could remember how to speak. I hadn't urinated. It was okay. It was okay. There was one time where I forgot the phrase that I wanted to say. I can see it. When I watch the video, I can tell that I've done it. There's a bit where I'm like, I say, and I think that what I wanted to say was everyone on this went above and beyond, and the words above and beyond just like left me. And so I just was like, took it to the next level.
That was good. That was good. No, you were so composed and witty and quick and full of air. And because every other speech, I think you had the speech of the night. And I don't think I'm being biased. Truly, I really don't. Like, it just felt like everyone else felt like it's un-Australian to prepare, but because you are always prepared because you're a nerd, you know, like that paid off. It showed that you cared enough to put effort into a proper speech.
I chucked in something at the last minute
What
too.
did you chuck in?
There's a bit where, because I knew that I was going to say we're nerding out to be in the room with the real news icons. And because there was a moment when Lee Sales had walked past our table and we were all like, oh, Lee Sales. And so I just threw in at the last minute, we've totally seen Lee Sales in the flesh. And
They loved it?
Yeah. And there was one bit, I mean, the room was pretty drunk by the time I was up there. And so I acknowledged like every drama that had to shoot in COVID. And I didn't expect, of course, all the tables that were dramas felt like solidarity and they all cheered and everything. And I didn't expect it. So
Popular.
it was great.
Good. You played to the room.
Got off quickly.
Got a bloody Logie. Then we got to go to the after party and
they take you. You get shepherded into this whole like.
Oh yeah, what happens once you win a Logie? Where do you go then?
They take you to several sort of. You get to take them backstage.
Yeah.
You weave around all like the gear and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then you get taken into sort of like official photograph room. So the picture of me that behind the red background that I posted everywhere, that was there. And we've got all these sort of cast photos and just like, I don't know, I guess for TV Week or something like that. And then you get taken into like a press room where there's like a whole lot of journos that are so tired by this point. They can ask a couple of questions and you stand there with a microphone and you get that. And then of course everyone wanted to watch Hamish Blake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take out the gold.
And then he came backstage.
Yes.
And it was like just annoyingly gracious. And I don't mean that. I mean, he was a really lovely, gracious guy. And he came up and congratulated us.
Yeah.
And then also there was a really great moment because Chai Hansen, who's in the newsreader, he's in an Amazon show called Night Sky with Sissy Spacek, and it's Hamish Blake's favourite show. And Hamish Blake was having a total like fan out, like getting pictures with Chai, posting them everywhere.
And Chai was pretty chuffed, huh?
He was pretty chuffed. He can't stop talking about it.
That's so cute.
And so then immediately rang M and said, let's meet at the after party.
Let's go. And so I found you wandering the streets of Broadbeach with a Logie. Excuse me, are you holding a Logie? Don't drop it. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Let's look up close, Oh, she's stunning. Oh, babe. Just flapping it around. I could hold it. It's quite heavy. It's substantial. It was engraved already because they already knew that.
Yeah, just like the netball comps, as you had suggested.
Thank goodness. And we went in and they had slippers there waiting for everyone, which is great. We danced with Miguel from the living room and Doris Unane and Billy, her partner, and Rob Mills and Dr. Chris Brown and Abby Chatfield. Like Tony Armstrong is there, everyone's boyfriend, Australia's boyfriend. That was a great win. He's great. He's as great as you want him to be.
Exactly.
It truly does not disappoint at all. He's glorious, wonderful, chaotic, hectic, wonderful, wonderful. Just good night. And you and I agreed at the same time about 2:30 a.m. We were done. Yeah. 10 do the best after parties. That's a well-established fact. Yeah.
And there was a lot of clever things at that. And the slippers were clever. They had a phone charging station.
They did.
Which was really smart because I would have totally run out if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
They had like a photo booth area.
Fairy lights.
Everything about it said someone's really thought about this.
There was a flash mob by the 10 PR team.
There really was, which was... on a lot of levels, many of them ironic, but it was our favourite, most gleeful, silly moment of the night.
It was wild.
They also, I really appreciated that they had a DJ absolutely committed to mashing up bangers, which I appreciated. But what I really loved is they had like full sparks. Pyrotechnics.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Now,
it was good. I'm just reliving that flash mob. Wow. I mean, emails would have had to have been rehearsals.
I know. I reckon there was like a 60 email chain
100%.
that went in the lead up to that flash mob. I hope that there was an office rehearsal. I really do.
I'm sure there was, yeah. And mad respect to DJ Mafia. That was the DJ of the night.
Yeah.
I've known her a long time. We've played a lot of gigs together. So all's well that ends well. And then the next day, Michael and I were trying to go through security and someone sets off alarms because he's got a weapon in his bag.
Yeah. And it clearly,
What did she say to you?
She said something like, could I ask what this blue item is? Because on the x-ray it had come up blue. And so I was forced to say.
It did look like either a vibrator dildo.
Yeah.
or what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there was a moment where I had to say, it's a Logie.
I mean, if it were me, I would have been, it's a Logie. It's a Logie. It's a Logie in my Carry On a Logie, for which I won Most Outstanding Drama. Yes, a Logie. But
I was on the brink of, because she laughed as well, the security person.
she was lovely.
And I was on the brink of saying, can we just restage this whole moment so Em can film it? But that felt a bit too
We
much.
should have. I would have really respected you. All right. Well, congratulations again. Everyone's so happy. Like so many MCLators stayed up until 11,
Thank you.
whatever
Yeah,
it was.
more than can be said for my own mother. So I really no, that's true. No. She did not go to bed. Did she lose consciousness? Yes. She's been very upfront with me about that, and she said it early. She's like, Michael, I've just got to confess something. I did not stay awake the whole time. But so many of her friends started ringing as soon as you hopped on stage that I woke up, and so I did see the tail end of your speech.
You've always got Joe to keep you humble.
But also she twisted it in my advantage. She goes, because not only was I disillusioned when Home and Away won, I was just pissed off. And so it was like she was trying to tell me that she fell asleep. That's her version of protest.
It was a sleep protest. It was her version of a hunger strike, but
she'd
it was
be
sleep.
great. Yeah. She's not. She takes a different approach to Greta Thunberg when it comes to the protesting. It's much more I'm losing consciousness in solidarity, but don't doubt her intentions.
I love your mum. Well, moving on to something not as fun as the Logies. This afternoon, I treat Twitter with a lot of contempt. You know, I just go there, drop bombs and leave. I don't read the replies. I often go there just to agitate a few people. I don't know. It's not something I spend a lot of time on. And I clicked across to Twitter and I noticed that the ADHD was trending and I instantly wanted to vomit because it's not trending for good reasons, right?
No.
And straight away, I'm like, who's blamed ADHD for their shit behaviour?
Oh, really?
I knew. And I was not disappointed. Well, I was, but I wasn't wrong. A Collingwood footballer, in fact. His name's Jordan De Goey. I don't know football things. He has a long list of off-field behavioural issues. Like this isn't his first transgression, but he recently went to Bali and he was filmed quite inebriated, attempting to grab a woman's breast and expose her, making like rude gestures to the camera, just generally being a menace. And the videos come back and it's Collingwood Football Club have disciplined him and he's come forth and apologised and said he knows he's betrayed the club, but he's recently been diagnosed with ADHD and feels that goes some way to explaining some of his actions. And I felt I don't.
What the fuck is hell?
We don't need this, thank you. On behalf of the neurodiverse community, please stop blaming your shitty behaviour on ADHD because I have ADHD and I don't feel the need to expose a woman's breasts.
No, I've certainly never noticed that behaviour from you.
No, I don't feel the need to behave in a misogynistic fashion. I have the same symptoms of impulsivity and a lot of us people with ADHD do have the same kind of checklist of things, but also most of them manage to not behave like this. I remember that there was a politician and you know his name.
Yeah, Andrew Lemming. It's an extremely similar story in lots of ways. So he was accused of predatory behaviour, but more sort of things like, it was a variety of things, bullying and harassment, but like abusing constituents online and then disclose he had ADHD. He was sent to empathy training, as all great Liberal MPs are. But he sort of said he commenced treatment. I mean, he did add, this in no way excuses his behaviour, but it was a very deliberate use of
disclosure.
Yeah, exactly.
And when these men choose to disclose this diagnosis is all too convenient. And while ADHD is a reason, it's not your excuse. And that's my issue. And I think it's so hard to get people to take ADHD seriously because it's totally misnamed. It's not a deficit of attention. I have too much attention, some would argue. It's that I don't know where to put it. I can't prioritise where it goes. I don't get to decide where it goes. And most of the time my symptoms are just related to exhaustion because my brain is always on, my senses are always on. And when you mention you have ADHD to a neurotypical person, you watch the lights go out. You watch them look at you like, what? Like it's piss week. Like it's an excuse, like it's something little boys get. And I'm trying to find the way in, and I have 8 weeks to write this speech for the National Press Club in which I intend to focus a lot of it on being neurodiverse. And I'm now even today feeling panicked about how do I find the right words to infuse gravitas into this diagnosis? And then when men like this, when this happens, I just feel defeated. I feel like, well, there's no point. What's the point? Because any time this happens and someone's behaved in a really shitty way and they're like, oh, but I've got ADHD. Every one of us with that we get looked at differently. We get judged. And I feel this enormous pressure to find the words so that the neurotypical people can know how hard it makes my life and how hard it makes my kids' life. But I don't know how, which is why I'm glad I have you, but you're a neurotypical person, so I have to find a way. And I know you appreciate it, but it's a hard thing because oftentimes I can see people just thinking, can you just do it? What do you mean?
I'm sure I've given you that look before.
Like, what do you mean you can't pick up one coat? You have to clean your whole room first before you can find the right place for your coat to go. Just pick your coat up. And it's just like, what do you mean you're disorganised? Just write a list. Okay, cool, thanks. Cheers. I'll write a list.
But in terms of this footballer, so, because recently as well, there was Bailey Smith, much talked about on this pod. He was sprung with what looks pretty much to me like a bag of coke, and he didn't deny it. He said depression as well, which I know that I'm not, obviously it's a completely different thing, but where did that sit for you? Because generally his response was pretty well received. People felt like he owned it, you know.
I think if I'm being brutally honest, a little bit of internalised ableism for me, I think, because depression in my mind is perhaps taken more seriously than ADHD. And I think even for me, when I read depression, I was like, oh, well, that's serious.
Yeah.
And I think when I read...
I think you're right, actually.
These people saying ADHD, I think because I still have a bit of shame around it and I still internalise my ableism around it, I think I reacted, you know, instantly like, ugh. And then the double of, oh. So I think that's why the Bailey Smith thing kind of, I took it and I didn't think in any way he was using it as an excuse. But I think my internalised ableism came through with that politician and with this footballer because I'm worried people think it's an excuse for me or I think it's an excuse sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel
like depression... this is a really weird thing to say, but it's like depression's had better PR in the sense of...
No, you're right.
Thanks to Beyond Blue and things like that, we've been educated for a long time. You've even got figures like Jeff Kennett and stuff like that have been very...
You're 100% right.
Whereas ADHD, there isn't that equivalent yet.
Well, the ADHD people have ADHD, so the PR is really disorganised. We can't get it together. We can't agree. Everyone's crying. Like, we just can't fucking be bothered doing it. We don't answer any of our emails back. We try to get together, but everyone cancels because of the anxiety. So, the ADHD people have terrible PR skills. And you've hit the nail on the head and why I want to get this speech right is I need to be better PR for this thing because especially for my group of late diagnosed women, there's no research. No one cares enough to figure out why this is happening. And I want to maybe be the trigger for a scientist or a politician or someone to be like, fuck, we've got to get on top of this. This is really affecting a lot of people's lives. So I think... I don't know. I just was really triggered and you've really helped me in real time figure out why. It's because I still am dealing with, is this really a thing?
But also is that element of, because there isn't good understanding of it, like it makes it even more of a difficult proposition when someone casts it in a really negative light, as it is. Like, because I'm going to draw the longest, weirdest bow here.
Please.
But I think about the way like gay people are represented on screen. And for a long period of time, it was like, please no... Like we don't want villainous gay characters or predatory gay characters because we can't handle it because we're just trying to like make people understand it better and feel comfortable. We've moved past that now.
Yeah.
And because we've got so much, people are so well educated about it that now you can afford to have all sorts of representations of it. But with ADHD, we're like completely in infancy of anyone, you know, we're still in a world where most people that have it are wandering around oblivious, not, you know, even understanding.
You're so correct. You have 100% articulated what has been bubbling away in my inner soul in that yes, like we're just trying to get it out there in a way that's not judged or that it, because it's an invisible thing and it's a strange thing to explain to people, especially when you are someone who's organised and can just do shit and isn't overwhelmed all the time by everything, and you hear it and you're like, but when you hear someone's got like cancer or depression and it's something that physically manifests in front of you, you're able to like feel it. So when it hits the mainstream and the only representation we're getting are these humans doing awful things, you just go, fuck, come on, man. Come on, man. Can we just have one person, just one? I don't even know, can someone who is so beloved come? But the thing is,
Some might say you are that person.
And there's the other layer of pressure.
Yeah.
I'm super flawed. I am still figuring it out, and I'm not ready to be the face of the neurodiversity, because also the neurodiverse community is really hard. As I've said before, we're not the most supportive bunch because of the perfectionism and the bluntness and the sensitivity, and we're all going each other and correcting each other, and we're kind of like the worst of the Labor Party. We're just always correcting each other on the ways to identify, and is it with autism? We don't say Asperger's anymore. There's levels, there's all these things.
But also there's an element of criticism from the neurodiverse community is going to hit you like a ton of bricks. Hypersensitive. But in addition to that, it's also, there's an element of like for me, if I get criticised that there's like homophobia in my own work, that hurts more than any other criticism at all, because it's kind of like, from my own community.
Oh, I get it all the time. Yes. I'm not autistic enough, according to a lot of autistic people. I'm so sorry. So yes, I just want to let everyone know I'm going to be doing my absolute best to get this speech right, but it is feeling like the impossible dream at this point. And I haven't started writing it, ironically, because I have ADHD. So, I'm getting a lot of other shit done. There's cobwebs are being cleaned. My knicker drawer's never been better folded. Every time I sit down to write this speech, I'm going on side quest after side quest, and it's probably going to be written on the napkin the morning of at this rate. So the irony is I can't get done what needs to be done because I have no executive function.
Do you fold your knickers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I roll them special and they're in little tubs in my drawers.
Oh, okay.
But I can't. I've got a pile of knickers that needs to be put away, but I can't put them away because the drawer needs to be refolded first, and I don't have time to refold it. So both chaotic states are just building up. It's really hard.
Yeah, it's really hard.
So I don't know what else to say. And I know I wasn't the only neurodiverse person who saw this and just felt like, oh, well, fuck, we've been set back again. We really need a win. Our community needs a force of good, and I'm going to try. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. All right, we're going to go away. We're going to come back and talk about something much more exciting. Beyonce has graced us with a new single, and we are so excited. That's next.
M. Rusciano and Michael Lucas. This is Emsolation.
So, we're very excited.
We are.
Are we not? The Beyaissance is coming. And I am ready for the Beyaissance. It's been 6 years since we've got a solo pop project. We've had...
I wouldn't say that Lemonade was pop necessarily.
Well, you know what I mean.
It had probably, yes.
Mainstreamy.
Sure. Yeah.
So she had Everything Is Love with Jay-Z, which you and I didn't really engage with.
I just want pure Beyonce.
True. Don't water it down with Jay-Z.
No, and I love on this one, not only does she sing it, she does her own rap break. Anyway, we'll get into it soon.
It's so good. We had Black is King. We had the Lion King project. She wrote a song for King Richard.
Oh, we can't say she hasn't given us. She's been
working.
feeding us, of course.
Been working.
But also, it was also because Lemonade was her masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. And so
good.
Yeah, so amazing. I still listen to it. I just bought it on vinyl because I'm a wanker. I love it. And the immense follow. Where does she go? What could she do?
We spent a whole breakfast. We didn't know where she was going to go.
No.
At breakfast the other day, I'm like, what do you think she's going to do? And we just couldn't land on it. We didn't know.
We didn't know. We didn't even know what we wanted, but she knew.
Oh, she knew.
Yeah.
So Break My Soul was dropped at midnight, and
Midnight overseas time.
Yeah. I don't know what time it was here.
Well, I just got it. Chella sent us a text.
But it was midnight overseas time. Let's just say midnight because it's dramatic for her. And it's just said 6. So I'm guessing, does that mean track 6 on the album? Or why did it have a 6?
Well, it is track 6 on the album.
Okay.
And I don't know whether I'm just in weird gay Twitter.
Hi, gay.
Oh,
Do you want to know the speculation?
Yes.
It's because Pride Month is the 6th month of the year. I think that's actually bullshit.
Oh, no way.
Although the gays are happy.
Yes! Like 90s. This is for the gays.
No, you're
I'm
wrong.
obsessed.
Let's just say.
Oh, the
there's
gays are
already
happy.
footage of drag performances of it.
Yeah, it's really?
Hold up, oh, beggar, you won't break my song. 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 I'm telling everybody.
Yeah.
Already? How'd they learn the words so fast?
I don't know.
Well,
Commitment.
I'll tell you today, I was sitting folding, washing, and nothing's going to break my soul. So I was singing that, just break my soul. Like it was just coming out of me like...
Yeah.
She knew
You won't break
my soul.
I
You
was
break
worried
my soul.
because my first fragment of it was the screen grab that Chella sent. And when I saw Break My Soul, I instantly went to a place of like, sounds like it's going to be a dark searching ballad or something like that. I don't know why that's what I thought, even though I knew it was a dance project.
No,
But then when I put it on and from the first second,
Release your anger, release your mind, release the job, release the time, release your trade, release the stress, release the love, forget the rest. This bish knows, especially on a level of 40-something women, we're exennials, the 90s are back, that was the last time we didn't feel tired. She knows that we're walking around and there are multiple things, You Won't Break My Soul, I could sing that too. My elderly dog continuing to shit on the floor every night. My husband booking a job on the day I'm to give my National Press Club address. Like
your underwear drawer.
my underwear drawer. So she just knew, like, I won't be singing this on the dance floor, but I will be angry crying it at the traffic lights in my car.
The moment when I really knew I was in my 40s was that I was loving the song and I wasn't thinking, I can't wait to be on a crowded dance floor. I was thinking, I can't wait to add this to my exercise playlist for my lounge room hits. That is where I went.
Yeah, for me, it's the same. It's the song I'll be cleaning to on a Saturday morning,
totally.
not dancing out to on a Saturday night. Oh, first thing Saturday morning when the girls wake up, because the girls know on a Saturday morning when the playlist cranks, they've got to get up and guilt clean. That's the first thing I'll be playing. You won't break, and the girls can sing that back to me. Like, it's really just
I hope that doesn't program your daughters to associate party bangers with household chores and servitude.
Already. But I just love that she, we're coming out of the pandemic. She's just fucking pitched it so beautifully.
She has. And I love as well that the last one was the album was so searching and personal and loaded with cultural history and all this sort of stuff. And this is a flat out banger. As you pointed out, she's singing about working 9 to 5, which clearly it's not. She's doing it for the fans. It's nothing to do really with her own day-to-day life.
Look, it's all well and good as a billionaire to tell everyone to quit their job. I just want to say to everyone, I love the sentiment. I feel you. Please don't quit your job because Beyonce told you to. Please do not go into work and be like, Beyonce's told me to, I'm going, I'm out. Like, just don't do it.
Don't do it. But also, if you did do that, respect.
No, that was my only, when I was listening to the lyrics, well, I was watching the lyrics video, which is why I noticed the lyrics so much. And when she was singing about, can't wait to leave at 5, her 9 to 5, I was like, when was the last time you had a 9 to 5 P?
And to be fair to her, there's not very much unemployment at the moment. So if you were going to quit your job, it's a good time because there's a lot of job vacancies. Beyonce's clearly been looking at the employment section.
And the UK Vogue cover shoot, oh my God, if that is any indication of what we have coming, the outfits, Christ on a wheel.
I can honestly say that I cannot wait for the first live performance of it, though.
Oh my God. When are we going to get it?
I don't know.
Oh my God. When are we going to get the whole thing? And how often is she dropping songs? I love that she's dropped it on a Tuesday. She just doesn't care. Because normally in the old days you drop it, say, on a Thursday, then she pioneered dropping things on a Friday because you don't normally drop things on a Friday because the press go to sleep on the weekend. And she's going, no, I'm just going to do a Tuesday. Don't give a shit at midnight. She can drop it anytime she wants. She can drop it on a Wednesday morning at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. I'm so excited. Before you go, though, we watched J-Lo's documentary.
Didn't we ever? We just want to say that we were only on the Gold Coast for a short amount of time. Some might say that when you're in a city for a long weekend, you would go and experience all the local delights. And we did do a little bit of that, but make no mistake, we were dedicating solid time to watching Halftime.
So good.
It is absolutely unmitigated propaganda for J-Lo, and we loved it.
I lived in the public eye.
How do you feel about your butt?
You did not just ask me that.
It was. And, if nothing else, I took away seriously she takes everything.
Especially herself.
The level of earnest reflection. But then there's a moment where you get dance captain, Jen. You know, and that was like shoulder, shoulder. And I'm looking for the camera and I'm finding the camera, but I'm not looking, but I am looking because I'm always looking.
I don't just go, "Has the camera got me?" But I'm also saying, "Has the camera got me?" Because I can do all of that at the same time.
And I'm like, yes!
No, I know.
And what we didn't realize was because at the halftime show, if you recall, the cages rose from the ground.
Yes.
And at the time, I think a lot of us were watching going, oh, cages, that's an
Pretty
interesting...
lights?
Yeah.
Oh, that's her daughter. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and then we find out it was actually a political statement about the Trump administration putting...
Refugees, they were, at the border.
Yeah.
Kids in cages, yes.
Yeah, she was making a political statement.
Absolutely.
But at the time, and then the whole thing became like, oh, then the big, you know, the cliffhanger in the show was they're going to axe the cages. And J-Lo got on the phone. She was not having that.
No.
She was not having that.
She is trying to give us something with substance. She's not just up there shaking her ass.
Not just us out there shaking our fucking asses and fucking belly dancing. I want something real.
Help me out here, Joe. I'm trying to make a statement. I'm trying to make a statement. Can't take the cages. And then her manager's like, they're going to get rid of the cages. They're trying to get rid of the cages. I'm like, and she's like, no.
And I get a call from Benny, and he's like, they want to pull the cages.
They looked at the plans, and the message was absolute. They did not want those cages in the show.
And then her and Shakira on the phone arguing over who's going to go when.
But I don't know that they were arguing.
Oh, there was a bit of hustling. She was like, I just think you do the first 6 minutes and I'll do the last 6 minutes. There was no way there was not going to be any sort of crossover there. But we want to know, did Shakira mime J-Lo did not?
Yeah. I mean, it's fascinating because I would think that most people would assume that Shakira has more live performance chops than J-Lo. But on the evidence of the Super Bowl...
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I simply cannot have you saying that because it was J-Lo live and the dancing. But I just... It's like when I watched the Janet Jackson documentary. Janet and J-Lo sat in the edit and every single frame was decided upon, and I love it.
That's right. To communicate the message that they are an absolute goddess and a freedom fighter.
Yeah.
And
should have won an Oscar.
Should have won an Oscar.
That was wild.
Although, can I just say, in the trailer, which of course I watched 57 times, there is a bit in the trailer where she is in bed seemingly receiving the news that she didn't get it and being really upset. That's not in the film.
I agree. I was looking for that. There was where she realised, and sometimes she didn't get the nomination. She's sobbing. Gone.
Yeah, gone. What happened there? She must have at the last minute thought, you know what, that makes me look weak. I'm above it.
Yeah. But they left it to draw people in to watch.
Yeah.
And Ben Affleck's in it for 3 seconds.
3 seconds, yeah. If you go in wanting any insight into what happened with A-Rod, because the period absolutely...
He doesn't exist.
He is not in there. And she... Because I remember from the inauguration where she infamously...
Oh, we got that too, yes!
That's the emotional crescendo when she sings it. But he was there. Like, there were so many shots of him watching.
But was he?
He's been edited. Well, clearly not enough.
No, but he's gone. According to J-Lo's propaganda,
she's rewritten history just as she rewrote America the Beautiful. And afterwards we did...
Let's get loud. Let's get
I will always respect it. Yeah, and we then, if you have not gone back...
Oh, yeah, what did we do after?
Watched the halftime show.
We did.
Because you can forget.
You got to go back.
You can forget.
Straight away, though. As soon as you watch the doco, go do the full performance.
She just keeps giving and giving. You keep thinking, oh, my God, I forgot she's saying this brilliant. Oh, my God, she can pole dance. Of course she can. Just when you think you've seen everything, you think she's like, fuck you, I'm going to do ballroom dancing off the fucking hook.
Yeah.
It was insane. I'm going to flip on my head.
Yeah, I'm going to have the Puerto Rican flag on the inside of my jacket.
Oh.
Because I'm not just here shaking my ass. That's the name of the podcast. That's the title of the podcast. Not just here shaking my ass. Anyway, we loved it. And also, she brought Emmy on stage this weekend and referred to Emmy because Emmy uses they-them pronouns. And Jen announced Emmy on stage using they-them pronouns. They sung together and it was a beautiful moment.
And I asked them to sing with me all the time, but they won't. So this is a very special occasion. They're very, very busy and booked and pricey. It costs me when they come out.
It was just like, she can do no wrong.
Oh.
She's queen.
She's going to have to make another flag outfit to...
I would say so.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Pride flag, spin it around, Puerto Rican flag, flip it upside down, American flag.
If anyone can do it. I can do it. Okay, that's enough from us. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you. It was a great thing that happened. It was a great win.
It was a great win. It was pretty hard. I was back in the office the next day. That was rough.
Yeah, respect.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. See ya.
This is Emsolation.
Okay, that's all we have time for. Let's get loud. That will just forever. The most glorious thing she's ever done, to be honest. She just slid it in there. Did not even care. Zero fucks about the sacredness of the song she was remixing. Who cares? That's on Netflix. I don't think we even said that. If you want to go and watch the J-Lo documentary, it's on Netflix. But as we said, you must go and then relive the halftime show, the brilliance of it, the hard work she put into it. And also get yourself T-shirts online right now, mrussiano.com in the shop. I don't think I said that. Make sure you go and engage with our social media. What you don't know is every time we post, you might not see it. And my daughter Marcella, who's social media captain, each week puts up this extensive 34-frame story. It's the accompanying Bible to the episode, because I know when I'm listening to a podcast and someone references something visual, instantly I want to be like, what are they talking about? So we've made sure you don't have to do that. You just go to @Emsolation Podcast on Instagram, and every week she does this, but you mightn't see it because of algorithms, and sometimes we get shadow banned because we put things up, about penises and stuff. Well, most weeks we put things up about penises.
Hi, gay.
So make sure you're checking in with the Instagram every week. It's really important. We post on the main page. The more you like and engage, press the bell, and then you'll be told every time Marcella puts something up. But it's really worth it. It just gives you the whole 360 experience of the episode. Trust me. And there's so many great Beyonce memes going up. I've seen them. You get the Beyonce photo shoot. Anything we've mentioned that you feel like you want to see will be there. @Emsolation Podcast on Instagram. And our newsletter also goes out. We want you to be a part of the full community, the full experience. All links are there, recommendations we have for you to get through the week until our next step. It's really worth, if you're going to be in, you may as well be in, right? So subscribe to the newsletter if you haven't. Make sure you are regularly interacting with the social media posts, because don't assume Instagram's going to let you know we've done it, because they don't, because sometimes they're assholes. All right, Mummy's finished now, I think. Anything else? No. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful week ahead. And we'll be back next Thursday as always. Bye.
Emsolation with M. Russiano is a Spotify exclusive podcast recorded at Down the Hill Studios. Hosted by M. Russiano with Michael Lucas. Executive produced by Benjamin Wasley. Produced by M. Russiano. Edited by Ezekiel Fenn at Entente Music. With videos by James Henderson. Socials by Marcella Russiano Barrow. With assistance from Jem Evans and Georgia Watts. Plus, occasional offer shelf installs and flat pack wrangling from M's dad Vincey. Get more Emsolation by following us on Instagram at Emsolation Podcast. You can also sign up for our weekly newsletter. Join other Emsolators of the Emsolation group on Facebook. The answer is Harry Styles. And please take the time to share this podcast with a friend, and make sure you're following us on the Spotify app by hitting the follow button. Thanks again for taking time out to listen to this week's episode, and we look forward to chatting with you again soon.